Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy III. In the last part we raided the land of Eureka and got the last two classes and all the ultimate weapons. And now that I'm level 60 after doing my grinding, it's time for us to finally tackle the Silk's Tower.
Which has the best theme in the game.
Yeah, I love it. I think Eureka is a better song in my eyes, but this is a close second. Also, I should mention, before tackling the rest of Silk's Tower, leave the tower to the space between it and the Ancient Labyrinth and save. It's the last opportunity you have to save in the game. Also, I have 82 shurikens. And also, now it's time to fight Bluck. Weird name. Bluck has 1760 HP, 4200 XP, 3600 gil. It can steal a potion from it, and it can summon the next enemy as well. Although I believe the enemy it summons depends on the version. It can summon a clone of Doga here, but I don't think we ever see that.
Yeah. I'm currently trying to turn off Discord notifications because it's a little bit annoying. It won't
That's why
appear.
you just have them off at the start.
It won't appear later on. I like getting the notifications every now and then, but this is where it gets a little bit redundant. Our next enemy is Gamori. And Gamori has 4050 HP, 4200 XP, and 181 gil. It can use Drain, which is basically getting your HP stolen from you. But
yes.
I don't know. This thing probably doesn't have that high of a magic stat, so you should be fine.
Yeah. It's not going to stop the next enemy from being annoying. In fact, there's a lot of enemies in this place, I'll say for a fact, because this is the longest dungeon in the game.
There's one enemy in this game that I love. I love its name, ironically speaking.
And next enemy is Flame Devil. These guys suck. 1570 HP, 4400 XP, 3700 gil, weak to ice. Can steal a potion from them, and they can use flame on you. And that's a lot of damage coming at you in pairs of threes. Pairs of three. Yeah, that works.
Trios.
Blizzaga and physical attacks are the way to go, as are ice helms or ice shields if you still have them for some reason. But these guys can suck just because of the amount of times you run into them, partner with how much damage they do.
Well, that sucks.
Especially in a back attack like this. Not good.
Of course you had to have the luck. It had to be your luck that you get back attacked by these things.
Yeah, you say that. My luck is very weird in LPs. I don't have the proper curse. I just have a curse of luck. Things like this that don't usually happen will. And the opposite is true as well. Things I usually have happen, like I usually run into one particular enemy variety in this dungeon. I never did, and it sucks because that's a very important enemy to talk about.
What is it?
You'll see, well, I don't show it off, but I'll talk about it when we get to the point where it would have showed up. A lot of the treasure in this place, though, I will tell you, is basically entirely useless. Until, like, the very, very end of the part. Also, I'm trying to remember, this is the second crystal area in the series, isn't it?
Second?
Yeah, because Final Fantasy 1 didn't have a crystal area.
Final Fantasy 1 didn't, no.
2 had that one area inside Pandemonium.
Pandemonium, and then there's this one. And then 4 is all about that stuff.
Oh, yeah. 4 took the crystals and ran with it.
Also 5. 6 had nothing to do with crystals, really. Unless you count Magicite as crystals.
I suppose you could. I do believe Dissidia, the way that they handled that is they made the crystal for Terra look like a Magicite. I know they made the one for Cloud look like a Materia.
Alright, here comes my least favorite enemy ever, the Cum Cum. It has 2090 HP, 4400 XP, 3900 gil, and they can use Break 2, Death, Fire, Faraga, Blizzaga, and Thundaga. And they're also summoned by an enemy called Bluck.
Yeah, the Bluck was the first time we encountered. I think they might only summon them in the 8-bit version. Oh, hey, look, Ark died. That's the annoying thing about these guys. You want to get mute on them because they can use instant death attacks, and they have pretty decent accuracy with it. Thankfully, Life 2 is very effective in this game, so don't worry about using it if you have to, because these guys are just really, really annoying.
Why did they have to give it that name, especially in the 3D version?
Yeah, it's spelled K, for those who don't know. It's spelled Q-U-M here, but it's K-U-M in the 3D version, so I think they knew.
They knew what they were doing. Bastards.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth of it all?
Damn it.
Someone kill you in Fire Emblem again?
No, I'm trying to download the Project M ISO and my internet's screwing up super bad on my desktop for some stupid reason. Why are you saying I can't connect to the network? That's retarded. Whatever.
Either way, next enemy is another fairly annoying one, Platinals. 4580 HP, 4400 XP, 3800 gil. You can steal a potion and it can use Break 2 on you. That's the big thing. It can instantly petrify you, and it also has a pretty decent physical attack stat, so it's going to be dealing a lot of damage to you. Thankfully, at that much HP for it can go down pretty easily, but you want to be careful all the same.
And thus the download re-begins. Damn it.
Your
I'm
heart
trying
will
to...
go on, Kenny.
Once I'm able to play Project M and play as Lynn, sure. If only it was Elliewood, my bae.
Yep. In case you're wondering why we're bringing that up now of all times, for those who know about that little in-joke from his Fire Emblem LP, Fire Emblem Heroes came out about 2 days ago, and I'm really enjoying it.
It's fun, although I have to say my luck is not up to par, because while everyone I've asked has gotten a 5-star, I haven't gotten a single 5-star yet.
I've gotten 2. I got George from 3 and Tiki from 3.
George is really good.
Yeah, especially for me.
In the
He's
original
KO'd a
Epi
good amount of things in like one shot.
That's true. I've done it with Shersh, and Shersh is only a 4-star.
Yeah, some people actually went out and outright restarted the game, though, just so you can get certain 5 stars. Either way, go ahead, Ken.
Alright, next enemy is the Shinobi. I could have sworn we ran into this enemy before, but that's probably just me. It has 1100 HP, 4400 XP, and 4000 gil.
We ran into the enemy type before, but not the enemy.
Oh. Because it was like, it was a boss. And then this is a different enemy.
You're talking about the one that gave us the Kiku, right?
Yes, okay.
That was not a shinobi. Oh, I guess it was a shinobi. Huh. Well, that's weird. I think they're considered 2 different enemies, though.
Maybe. We could always compare the stats, I guess.
Possibly.
Shinobi
but
is
not now.
Shinobi is fought. Shinobi is a boss fought in Final Fantasy III under the waterfall at Felgabard. Upon defeat, he bestows the Kiku Ichimonji katana upon the party. In the Crystal Tower, however, Shinobi are common enemies that usually attack in pairs. They are no threat when fought in the Crystal Tower, though it can be a relatively difficult task to defeat if the party is not prepared for him at Felgabard and is under level 30. So yes, they are the same enemy.
I guess I forgot to edit that. I guess, well, that's weird then. Because,
The more you know.
And knowing is half the battle, eldest staff. Yeah, for some reason they give you another eldest staff right here in the tower. The eldest staff, well, actually, no, I don't think we got one of those yet. Eldest staff basically boosts all elemental abilities and also just is really good. Give it to your black mage if you had one that was a prior, or at least technically for me right now a sage. But if you had someone who practiced black magic a lot, give it to them. The Silk's Tower, though, yeah. Ever since his computer blew up on him a few parts back, I've been a bit nervous. Next enemy is the Dark General. I think that's probably what the D stands for. 1130 HP, 4600 XP, 4300 gil. You can steal a high potion and can also drop that, I believe. And that's about it. I think in the 3D version, these guys can actually drop Phoenix Downs, though. So that's pretty good. And yeah.
That's pretty good. Hey, Phoenix Downs.
Oh, really? Oh. Could have sworn they only dropped high potions. Either way,
no,
I was gonna...
No, there was a Phoenix down in the chest.
Oh. Anyways, I was gonna say, the Silk's Tower is actually very easy to figure out because for the most part, it's entirely symmetrical. In terms of where its floors layouts are. So you can pretty much figure out... Did I not use a transition there? That was weird. You can basically figure out where to go fairly easily.
I really like symmetrical places like that. Something about symmetry is just amazing to me.
It is very satisfying as well, because there's just that one part of the human brain that sees that and is like, nice. Coming up, though, we are coming up on a very interesting portion. From, I think, this floor on, you can start running into enemies known as dragons. There are 3 varieties, red, yellow, and green. Green has 10,000 HP, 4,000 XP, 2,900 gil, can steal an elixir. It can drop the elixir, the onion shield, helmet, armor, or sword. I think the stats are different for each one. Yep, red had 15,000 HP, 5,600 XP, 5,800 gil. Can steal the onion sword or elixir. It can drop the onion sword, shield, or elixir. Go ahead, Kenny.
All right. So now we have the Glacia Laboles. It has 2160 HP, 4600 XP, and if the window will be nice to me and not get in the way of the data, 4600 gil. They can drop high potions, black holes, lilithkiths, and impsions. Sorry about that. I got violently sick on Friday, and I'm still recovering.
More accurately.
That's fair, but still.
Yeah. And then the third kind of dragon is the yellow dragon. 10,000 HP, 5,000 XP, 5,400 gil. Can steal an elixir, drops elixir, onion, gloves, armor, helmet, and sword. The onion equipment is the best equipment in the game, at least in the standalone 8-bit version. However, it's rare, like obscenely rare. I think rarer than a pink rat's tail.
Rarer than a pink tail.
Yeah.
Rarer than a pink tail, and that is crude.
And first off, it's random which one you get. And the onion, obviously, as the name would suggest, only usable by the Onion Knight. Onion Knights are kind of interesting in the fact that they are sucky for most of their time until around the time they start getting like a skill level of 90 something. They actually start getting pretty decent, honestly, but you need to have the levels to compensate with that too. And let's go over the Onion equipment stats, shall we? The Onion Gauntlets is the strongest armor in the game, can only be dropped by the Green Dragon. 32 defense, 32 magic defense, 32% evade, which is pretty obscene on its own. Onion armor, only dropped by the Red Dragon. 48 defense, 48 magic defense, 48% evade. Also pretty ridiculous. Onion sword, dropped by all 3. 156 attack, 200 here in the NES version, and +5 to all stats. That's kind of ridiculous. Onion helm, only dropped by the Yellow Dragon, has 48 defense, 48 magic defense, 48 evade. And then finally, the most useless out of them all, just because you want to have 2 onion swords, really, is the onion shield, dropped by all 3, which had 48 defense, 48 magic defense, 48% evade. So you are basically nigh untouchable if you have all 3 on any character. If you want to go for it, go ahead. It's not worth it in my eyes, but it's there.
The only time I'll ever deal with getting something that rare is if it's the onion sword in 4 DS, or if it's the pink tail.
Yeah.
Because at least 1 adamant armor is necessary, because Rydia.
Well, I wouldn't say necessary, but more like you feel better about yourself. Also, Rydia, I don't think I've ever heard of anyone putting that on Rydia. I put that on Cecil all the time. Either way, our main opponent's right through this door. Hello, Zandy. What? That's a Durrigan. I should mention, by the way, this is the point of no return if you head any farther up, basically. So if you still have anything you want to do in the main world or Eureka anywhere below us, leave now.
Oh, 3 dragons.
Where are you? 5 dragons.
5 Bahamut. Oh, no.
Ah, great. We've been trapped here by these dragons. Zandy, you clever man. Also, who the hell is a Yellow Onion Knight?
Yellow Onion Knight. Wow.
Shit, I can't move. You can tell it's a fan translation because they translated the language. And Dorga? Are we having a Force Ghost moment?
It's Final Fantasy V all over again. Actually, 4.
And Dorga's searching for the 5 of the light, huh? I guess he's got to try and get help.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah. Essentially, Dorga is finding 5 people along our journey that have pure souls of light to help us out. Sarah is coming over because she cares about Lunith. Sid, not Sid. But yeah, Sid, because old bearded guy. These two can get along pretty well. This next one's a bit odd. I guess he's gonna get the Tower of Owen. Or Desh is just somehow still alive after being roasting in fire for over 16 hours of gameplay. What? You know?
Wow, so that sad theme was useless there. I feel cheated.
I get on Final Fantasy IV for its red herrings, but this is honestly a bit worse, because at least with most of those, you find out if they're alive or not at least like 5 hours later, plus in some cases. But this has been at least over half a game. Alice, yeah, I guess he's a child, he's innocent. But who the hell would be number 5? No. No.
What?
One of these guys?
All 4 of... How about all 4 of them?
Just have a boss battle against one of the dragons. Actually, I say that as a joke, but if this game ever had like a PS2 version, they would probably do that. But yeah, for some reason one of them is going to help us out, but they're also going to distract the dragons for us, so it's time for us to go prevent this world from being plunged into darkness. If the screen could stop flashing white, thank you. Into an alternate dimension we go!
Super Final Fantasy IV-esque. Super.
Yeah, and there he is. Hello, Zandy. Zandy
Perish.
is, I guess, the final boss of the game. 21,000 HP, no experience, no gil, can steal a potion, can use Libra on you, Meteo, Quake, and Flame. He can hurt, just because of Meteo and Quake alone. The healing is largely pointless in this battle for reasons we'll see eventually, because the damage he does also far outstrips any real good healing spells. And the 3D version, I think, is even more annoying because he gets 2 actions per round, and I think he can actually cast Haste and Protect on himself in that version, along with having all 3 of the level 3 elemental spells.
Hey, that sounds like Golbez. Hee!
Yeah. However, as you're seeing, Shurikens do a lot of damage, especially when hasted, and Bahamut, especially if you use it after hasting, kind of tears through that 21,000 HP. If on your playthroughs, the most dangerous attack is most likely going to be Meteor, just because he tends to use that before any of the others. Let's see. Yeah, it's about half my HP.
Woo!
That is deadly, especially if you're around level 40, which is, I would say, the highest you should be before entering the tower if you want to tackle the end of game. But you really want to be around level 50 at least before tackling the real ending.
I mean, if this is the mysterious girl, you're not even going to be able to fight her at level 70.
Yeah. But enough shurikens in wherever they landed, and Zandy falls. But apparently the dark cloud's already plunging our world into darkness. What? I guess someone did. I guess the crystal did mention something about a dark cloud. Alright,
This is also a really interesting song here.
yeah, this is really interesting. But Zandy's masters arrived, the dark cloud, and she's going to erase the power of life from this world by killing us. Alright, let's go, you somehow very feminine deity of darkness. I don't know what this thing's supposed to be. They never really go into what this thing's origin story is. They just said it exists. Let's go all out. Cloud of Darkness has a lot of H. I didn't hit her. Game. Flare Wave. We can take this. Ow.
Oh,
that thing's working.
no.
Bahamut, blow her face off. Also, Bahamut for some reason turned her green. Don't get why. Honestly, if it's not obvious by this point, this is one of those you cannot win occasions. It's like the start of Final Fantasy II all over again.
Gross.
I think even if you hack her stats at this point to be able to defeat her, I think the game still, I guess would do one of the two. Either things that games would do in that case. Either it would crash, or it would just move around on its defense
like
anyway.
normal.
Yeah. I don't even know why I healed at that point, because at this point I really should just be killing myself.
I do that after stealing the Mage Masher in Final Fantasy IX. Because Excalibur 2, which I still haven't gotten.
What's the cutoff for that again? 16
12
hours?
hours.
12, oof. Yeah, you would need to do that like a real speed run. You need to skip the FMVs.
Well, I mean, not only that, but you probably have to skip half the things in the game to get it.
Yeah. And we died. And no joking, we actually did just die. She did successfully kill us. We're not like hanging on by a thread. We are dead. We're getting the sad music for ourselves now. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Let's Play Final Fantasy III. I'm joking, of course, because it's not finale in the title.
They're like, no, don't die.
At least we have people to drag us and our corpses back to our home. I don't really get what's going on here, honestly. I suppose it's similar to the ending of 9 right before Necron. I guess they're just using their their souls to revive us or some shit. I don't know. Dorga and Une are back for some reason too. This ending's weird. But due to Zandy's stupidity, Light has been weakened and Dark is being strengthened. However, there's still one final chance of defeating the Dark Cloud, returning Dark and Light to balance by tackling her in her own home, the Dark World, where the previous warriors were even from.
But how is she going to be beatable if Dark is getting stronger and Light's getting weaker? And she was already unbeatable before.
That's why we need to enlist the help of the Dark Crystals. And sadly, no, not the movie, but the really cool puppetry.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the Dark Crystals from 4.
You know what? I entirely forgot where those were a thing. Because that's such a minor plot point in 4.
That is
By the way, the
true.
Dark World is the technical last dungeon in the game. There are 4 Dark Crystals here, one in each non-cardinal direction. Northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. You can tackle them in any order. I'm heading northwest first, though.
Alright, first enemy in the Dark World is called the Leader. The Leader has 2,110 hit points for her... 4,400 experience points, 4,100 gil, and they can use Safe.
Safe is actually very good if you use it yourself, as I've mentioned before, since it's basically a stackable defense increase. But on the enemies, it really doesn't do much, especially when you have a dragon that can just blow their faces away. At this point, don't worry about your MP charges, because you should have enough elixirs at this point to just keep your MP charges going. Go all out at this point. Next up is also the Kage. 2520 HP, 4600 XP, 4200 gil. You can steal a potion and can use blind on you, which can actually be kind of annoying. I think it also does it with its physical attacks. And I want to say it could also poison you, but I'm not sure if that was the DS version. Nothing too annoying, though.
Do they get healed by poison, do you think? Like they do in 6?
I doubt that. I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but I highly doubt they do that in this game, because I don't think poison's an element here like it is in 6, because bio's not a thing. Well, yes it is. What am I talking about? Bio is a thing in this game. But I don't think it's a separate element. I think it's non-elemental. Either way, there's also a chest up there, but we got this thing in our way.
We're blocked by Jormungand, which looks like some really dumb thing that's like, oh! Weren't you like, it looks like that one dude in the cafeteria that's like a real sweetheart, but he's super strange and weird.
Yeah, that was the Oceanus.
Anyways, he's got 2570 HP, 4600 XP, 4700 gil, but not like that matters because Kyle is a god.
And in that chest we got a ribbon, which is going to be going on someone, but we also got a Zandy clone. Zandy clones have 10,000 HP, 3400 XP, 1550 gil, steal a potion, and they can use all the same abilities on you, but it tends to more often than not just waste turns casting a Libra. In the DS version, I believe it's also capable of casting Flare on you, so you want to be really careful with that. Bio and Quick are good ways to go. He's also, here in the 8-bit version at least, vulnerable to several instant death and status spells like Warp, Mini, and Shade. So if you want to take him out that quickly...
Toad!
No, Toad he's immune to.
Oh, damn it.
Just take him out like that. I, for some reason, decided to give him the time of day and let him stay around on screen for more than 5 seconds. Don't like the color scheme, though. That kind of... Actually, looking at it, he reminds me of the Zemus Mind and Zemus Breath.
Huh.
Huh. I remember at one point I tried to level grind off the Zemus Minds. That didn't go too well.
I'm sure it didn't.
Either way, I forget who I put that ribbon on. It doesn't really matter because you're getting more than enough of them in this area. I suppose I could just go in here and find my exact one. That went on Ingus. The big problem with the Dark World, though, is that similarly to that one cave in Fargabad, there are a lot of hidden passageways. And that's one of the Dark Crystals, but each one of them, like our own, is blocked off by some monster. And now we got to go Greek.
Hello, Cerberus! I have not seen you since Final Fantasy XII, because grinding the Tornasoul is a stupid thing that no one should do. But I love torturing myself. It has 23,000 HP, 6,000 XP, 6,400 gil, and while I try to scroll down and see what he can do, he can cast Thunder on you, and he attacks 3 times per turn, because he's got 3 heads.
I forget if that's this version or the 8-bit version, though.
It has it under the 8-bit stats here, so I would assume that means... I would
didn't
assume
do that
that
just
means in
then,
both.
so
Ah.
he didn't do it there, so I'd assume that part of the stats has probably been both. Cerberus, though, not too troublesome because shurikens kill everything. In fact, that's actually the thing. Shurikens are powerful, and the onion swords are more powerful, but you have more shurikens than you have onion swords, really. The only really annoying thing about these bosses is that there's no real way to heal easily in between the two of them, aside from your spells and items. My first playthrough, I remember, I didn't have basically any shurikens. I think I had like 20, if even. And I had very few elixirs and phoenix stones at that point because I had been using them. So this fight was long. All 4 of these fights really were very long because I had to do it all in one health bar. It was not fun. And I should mention, if you die to any of the enemies in this area, you're back to the beginning of the Silk's Tower. So that's at this point 25 minutes of progress lost. Probably closer to about, I'd assume, 40 or so without editing. I love 3, but this is probably one of the worst sections of the game in terms of game design. And hey, it's one of the 4 Dark Warriors from the war before. And they all say existential stuff. The only ones we can stop that are stop this is us. He's going to help us by lending us his power so that the world does not return to the void.
But he's a Dark Warrior, though. Like...
Well, darkness does not mean you're evil. Like Kingdom Hearts has said.
And
darkness itself is not evil. It's
Cecil.
using it and we're wrong.
Cecil is a case by himself. Cecil?
I do like the kind of idea that they have in this game, though, with its story. It's actually very similar to what would eventually be Kingdom Hearts. Dark and light are not necessarily good or evil. They're more so just their own things going on.
Yeah.
And you want them to be in balance, because otherwise then the world's at peace. But if one starts getting more powerful, then you have things going wrong. Either way, next enemy is immediately a recolor of Cerberus, the Garm. 4240 HP, 4800 XP, 5200 gil. It can steal a potion from them, and it can use Drain on you. That's about it. Physical attacks are more than enough to defeat it, though. Yeah, it says even right here. In the DS version, it can attack 3 times per turn. So that's a DS exclusive ability.
They love ramping up the difficulty in the DS versions.
Yeah. God forbid you ever play the DS version of 4. I forget how the 3D version of After Years handled stuff like that, though. Because I know there is a 3D version of After Years. Never played it, but I don't know how it is. I like the song here, though. Dark World is a pretty good song. And that's another Zandy clone out of the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah, every one of those chests...
Song. Yeah.
Yeah, every one of those chests that has a ribbon has a Zandy clone in it. I believe I put that ribbon on... Oh, God. Hi.
Oh, hi. Queen Skilla. 6,220 HP, 4,800 XP, 5,100 gil, and that's it. You can steal a potion if you want. Pretty
vanilla enemy. The other Scylla was honestly more threatening, but it's nothing too bad. That ribbon went on Lunith. However, for the 4th boss here in the Dark World, and then the final boss, I'm actually going to be putting the Crystal Helm back on them due to reasons of difficulty. Either way, the second boss we're going to be encountering here, who's actually a bit more honorable and just facing us head-on, is one those who played Final Fantasy I's GBA version will recognize, Echidna. 32,000 HP, 8,000 XP, 7,000 gil, can steal a potion, can use Break 2, Death, Drain, Flare, Meteor, and Quake on you. This thing can actually be very annoying, due to just the amount of spells it has that can really just screw you over. Shurikens, high damaging spells like Bahamut or Quake are good. So is Flare Holy if you have them. The 3D version, I remember for a fact, she knows Tornado, which, have fun.
Did you ever buy Holy?
No, I did not. But if you have them, it's there. But yeah, as I said, the game... first off, go ahead, because my thing's not as important.
I don't know. It just seems like Holy would be such an important spell, considering like its significance in a bunch of later games, I guess. And this is supposed to be about light versus dark, and then you have Holy, which is the ultimate light.
Which I guess thematically will be good for finishing off the final boss, but nah, shurikens to the face. Those who, as I mentioned earlier, the Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy 1. In that game, there are 4 extra dungeons that are unlocked after beating every single Archfiend. And each one of them has 4 enemies, 4 bosses rather, from Final Fantasies 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe. And the Final Fantasy 3 section are all these ones. Cerberus, Echidna, and the other 2 we'll be fighting shortly. I think 4 was the 4 Fiends. 5, hell if I know, I wouldn't be surprised if Gilgamesh is in there. And I forget what 6 had.
Kefka, maybe.
Yeah, it may have even been 2. I don't remember. It's been a while since I tackled the GBA version / PSP version of 1. And with that, we're going to free our second Dark Light Warrior. Wait, that was redundant. Dark Warrior.
So dark and light should be balanced, not one overtaking the other.
Yes, it's Kingdom Hearts all over again. Great. Well, pre-Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts thought it was original.
Yeah. And to their credit, they are just really, really overcomplicated.
True. I still have not played, like, even half of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is really good.
Oh, hey, look, it's the God of Thunder. But why are we fighting Thor? Loki's more evil, even though he's the God of Mischief. 2180 HP, 4,800 XP, 4,800 gil, and considering that he's Thunder and Thor, he can drop God's Wrath, and he can use Thunder on you. He can also drop Paralyzers and High Potions.
Yeah. Nothing too annoying. Honestly, I find their earlier recolors Haukas more annoying. But I suppose they could be dangerous. Also, if it's not clear, Mega Flare is amazing in this game. I gotta give Final Fantasy 3 credit. It has a better damage curve than something like Final Fantasy 7 does. Because 7, at least if you play it the way I do, you're dealing like maybe 2,000, 3,000 by the end of disc 2. And then you get your ultimate weapons and suddenly you're dealing quad 9s. And that's pretty fun, but it also kind of makes the game feel a bit too easy. This game, you rarely ever, unless you haste up a lot, reach quad 9s before being overleveled.
Or if you have Onion Knight with Onion equipment, hit 99 times.
Yeah, oh, good luck with that. Yeah, that takes so much grinding. Either way, it's time for our third crystal. That was me healing up, by the way. And this is possibly the most annoying out of the 4 bosses for me, at least. It's time for the first time for an enemy to show up in the franchise. It's Hariman. 35,000 HP, 9,000 XP, 7,200 gil, can steal a potion, can use Blizzard, Cure 2, Flame, Meteor, Quake, and Thunder on you. So that's a lot of damage coming at you. Usual strategy applies though. Shuriken, Bahamut, Haste, all that jazz. On the 3D versions, I believe Arimon's spell list was changed to be Meteor, Quake, Faraga, Blizzaga, Thundaga, and Kiraja.
Oh, just seeing that name gives me nightmares.
Yeah.
Because of, let's see. I don't remember if he was in 4, but I just get memories of Plague.
Yeah.
And, 12. Oh my god, I hated Ariman in 12. He is not fun.
I do believe in the 3D version, he's also weak to wind. So if you have wind spears and dragoons, that can actually take him out pretty well. I believe the boss fight's just longer in the 3D version as well, because he has just shy of 100,000 HP in that. So that is annoying. Ew. Thankfully, with my setup in the 8-bit version, nothing too terrible, plus there's no Doom timer, which is always good. But he can be dangerous if underleveled. That's this entire area. It's very dangerous if you're underleveled.
If.
Yeah. I am partially overleveled. Not too overleveled. Honestly, if you want me to consider what's overleveled in this area, I'd assume I would probably say level 55 or above. But that's just the way I like to go about things. I like having a smooth ride. I think the first game we'll probably have a lot of trouble with in the Final Fantasy series is probably 7, honestly. Because 7, level grinding in that is kind of hard to do.
But magic pots.
That's AP grinding, not mid-level grinding. Plus, those are only in the final dungeon.
Eh.
Mind you, it helps that 7 actually has super bosses worth a damn.
Fair enough.
One thing I've never been too certain about with these 4 areas, though, is if they're optional or not. I've always done them, so I'm not sure if you can actually just head to the north and head to the Cloud of Darkness. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 12, we're heading out to the Cloud of Darkness to finish this journey off once and for all.
No, we're going to the 4th guy first.
Yeah, he's technically right. See you guys then.